All right, this week I want to add some more clarity as to how robotic industrial process automation can add more volume on existing oil pipeline gathering systems. So a little bit more detail on how oil gathering systems work. Of course, adding more volume to a system like this in a steady state simulation, pretty straightforward problem. That's not how it actually works in real life, so as oil scheduling and control room operators can attest. So what's actually happening here in real life is this is a highly dynamic real-time system. So your control room operators are constantly turning the pumps at each of these LACTs on and off based on tank volumes, what's coming from the shippers or the oil producers. So here, let's just imagine a system of how we can calculate or how we can determine what additional volume can come onto this system. So let's imagine that these are at max rates and you have two LACTs where you have a call from shippers asking how much more volume can they bring on. You know, they've had some extra uptime and things are looking great and they want to move this volume on your oil gathering system. So the goal here, of course, then is to get your max flow rate into your terminal at the bottom. Each of these are changing, they're turning on and off. So how do you maintain and get as close to max rate down here as possible within the hydraulic constraints of the system? So that's actually what robotic industrial process automation for GatherBot will do here. So for 1 month denominations, let's look at what our flow rates would look like. So here you have your current flow rate at the bottom during a normal operation where your control room operators are doing their best. You know, there's lots going on. The phone's ringing, they're coordinating maintenance in the field. So you have, they're not able to stay as close to hydraulic max as possible, and they're not sure how much more can come on these two LACTs simply because it's changing all the time. So, you know, the shipper wants to put on some more. Normally you'd have a meeting between commercial, oil scheduling, hydraulics engineers, and you trial and error it out to see what you can get. Now, what GatherBot will do is it will calculate for you how much more you can bring on here. And it will auto-adjust and operate each of the pumps on its own in every single LACT to get that volume through and maximize this down here as much as possible within the hydraulic constraints and tank constraints of the existing system. So what that means is that this green line happens where you're getting closer to hydraulic max over the course of the month by confidently taking more nominations from shippers. I put the dollar signs here because, you know, the area under the curve is more volume, and more volume is more dollars, both for the customers, so the shippers, the folks that are producing oil and need to get it to market, and then of course the pipeline companies themselves who are operating these assets. They can confidently take that volume without series of meetings or having to build more infrastructure. So yeah, so that's a major benefit to robotic industrial process automation and GatherBot in a gathering system.